Hello everybody, I'm Penrost, this is Dark Season, and would you believe it, they printed a new Gullveig, who is a dual unit and has a 1 cooldown special. What more could I ask for? Not much, that's what. Also, remember when I say I put Hardy Bearing on a faster unit than Vale? Yeah, we've put it on Nurgle, who admittedly I'm looking at this right now and he's got 10 speed, but don't worry, he does double sometimes, more often than Vale does. On the enemy team, we've got Dagger +6, Asker +4, Peony +7, Emblem, Ike, the new Micaiah +1, and Lumera. And, well, at the start of the season here, you're gonna see something. What you're gonna see is that, well, maybe I mispredicted how things were going to go a little bit. Basically, I was going into this very confident of my unit's ability to actually, and since it's a turn late, we miss the snipe on Micaiah there. I was pretty confident in my ability to deal with Emblem Ikes. I forgot just how much Micaiah puts out in terms of penalties. All of our units here are debuffed to absolute oblivion at the moment. Look at that, -22 on attack. Micaiah does not mess around. And she messes around, or doesn't, even harder when she's the unit doing the attacking, of course. But, yeah, maybe should have brought in just a little more firepower. The other issue is that I was hoping that my team would revolve around bringing Vale to the front so that we could walk forwards and, then benefit from, you know, standard Vale stuff. That has not happened. Because, again, Vale does not survive the Ike encounter, so Vale is not the first one to attack. I'll get round to fixing that at some point. Fun Micaiah effect almost kills Duo Byleth, and because of how much minus attack is being applied, completely just tanks the counterattack despite special going off as well.
This is for you.
See how much more damage does to Asker, even though Asker is way tankier? Well, he still manages to get the kill, unfortunately, but, well, that's where we are, and luckily for us, someone's made a kind of unfortunate move here. Asker, my friend, you're still in range of Gullveig.
Onward. Yes.
And Gullveig does not mess around. Now, as for the rest of the battle, not in a great spot. Idun can trade with Ike pretty well, but does not stand a chance of killing the guy.
This one's mine.
The special for 0. And Gullveig makes a nice attempt, but again, actually, Gullveig also really good against the Micaiah meta, because if she can throw off the penalties, which taking an action throws off all the penalties, she suddenly becomes a lot stronger. But with no Vale in play, not beating that Ike. Now, if they wanted, they could have cleaned house pretty easily there, but, well, they'd lost a unit. Makes sense to surrender if you're going for a high score. Alright, one more match with this layout and then I'm gonna fix things. In the meantime, though, we're facing off against Eitri, Miller +2, Asker +1, Brave Dimitri, he's +10, the new Micaiah, of course, and Arcane Ingrid +10. Yeah, part of the reason I had Emblem up front where she is because, frankly, I just did not have my priorities the right way around. Or, well, maybe I did have them the right way around, but I mispredicted what the metagame was going to look like. By the way, Dimitri is still ridiculously strong, just casually tanking that, and let's see how he does against the Glacies from Nurgle. That's a Glacies, buddy. That's a...
By my father's lance.
Never mind. Yeah, the reason Emblem is up front is because I thought that people would be running a more Gale Force-y kind of offensive teams, that I'd want to put Vale further back in case they were using the new seasonal Emblem to snipe out Vale with their melee units. Nobody's done that. At least none of the matches I've seen so far has anyone done that, and I predict, based on how few Emblems I saw even on her bonus season, that things will continue to stay that way for a little while. Also, I mean, putting Emblem up front, because Emblem cleanses her penalties. If people try and isolate the middle line, the trap still works. But doesn't matter if people isolate the left line, which, by the way, right here, that's exactly what happened. They isolated the left line. Vale actually the first person to almost get somewhere, but almost getting somewhere is not exactly the same as getting somewhere. But yeah, Emblem up front makes sense if I think everything's going to be coming up Gale Force. It's not been coming up Gale Force. If people are tanking, then no, what you want is Vale in the front position, and then that's a setup where people warping in are able to do that much more. Anyway, just Idan left, and well, Micaiah does not have armor effective damage against her, but that really doesn't matter because Micaiah inflicting a -54 res. Ridiculous unit, very silly unit. Get rid of your penalties before you fight her is the best advice I can give you. So anyway, after all that rambling, I made the change I said I would make, and immediately we get isolated in the middle column, but now Emblem at the back, Vale at the front, a far more offensive setup. Let's see how this goes. Our opponents here, Ninja Zelgius, Gotto, Miller, that's the Bolt Trap, Asker, Eitri, and Legendary Marth, +3. So yeah, layout fixed. Now it's time to never lose a match again. Or something along those lines anyway. Not entirely sure what they want to do here. They do have a good Bolt Tower lineup, so maybe they're waiting for that, but that's not even a full power Bolt Tower. And oh, never mind, reverse O. Okay, tanking with Zelgius. The Miller up the middle column is something that would not have worked if Emblem was the frontliner, but thankfully for us, even though Vale is the frontliner and denied that Miller trick, doesn't matter, we got the kill anyway. Now it's time for Gullveig to pop off, and pop off she shall. Attack number 1 deals with Marth, attack number 2 is gonna go into Eitri.
Onward. Yes.
This is for special. meaning we are seeing attack number 3. The one you've all been waiting for. And that one we're pointing at Miller. Bye, Miller. Such a great unit. Gullveig already ridiculously strong in the current meta, and making her into a duo with a shorter cooldown on the special was just the icing on the cake, really. Well, next up, more traditional setup here. We're facing Gordo, a peony +6, Emblem, Ike, Air at +6, a Dagger, and Hortensia. So that is a 4 mythic Ike. Just look at those beefy stats, and they're just plonking him straight down the middle. Alright, now let's see how that works for you. You see, now Gullveig can safely go in. And the reason she can safely go in is because after this special, which does not much, but, you know. Yeah, we've got that support to stop Ike from blasting us now. Okay, now we're cooking. 47 times 2 with the special. How close are we getting? Not bad at all. And again, because Vale is the frontliner, we can just tank it. Attack number 3. Now...
Onward.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. It took 3 combats, but we dealt with that Ike. Now, of course, if he'd brought Breath of Life, things might have gone a little bit differently, but as it stands, we are just fine. Okay, what can Dagger do to our Emblem? Does survive. Does get the kill, but what have you got after that, huh? You're gonna, aha, that one's real. Which, okay, the real Bolt Tower does bring Byleth low enough for Hortensia to actually get the kill, so maybe not perfect, but... Oh, and Air able to snipe out Gullveig as well. Breath of Life kind of helps, but not enough help to actually help. But now, now you've run out of options, because there's a couple units who are still alive, Nurgle being one of them, who will just absolutely tear that team to shreds if you don't quit now. Which is what they did. They quit now. Okay, next up here, we're facing Joe Baby Robin. Fallen Lyon +1, Emblem of a new one, Gordo of a new Micaiah, and Asker. Okay, interesting setup here. Emblem's cute. Emblem on a tank team actually does nullify the effect of our Veil. However, one, I was going to say they've just exposed their Joe Baby Robin to getting blasted. However, number 2 is that the Fallen Lyon, despite having his new Refine, he still doesn't actually live that. Joe Baby Robin, probably not going to live this either. Only got 51 hit points. Attack does 71 damage. And going into Micaiah as well, because we've cleansed our penalties. Micaiah's strength not at its full power here. Gullveig cleans up. Rest of the team goes forward. What are you gonna do about that? That's exactly what I thought you were going to do. Cute approach didn't work out. Well, got anything better? Well, the answer is Asker +4, Miller +3, Eitri +2, Emblem Ike +1, and Air +2, and finally Peony +1. And I guess they just didn't feel like it. They did have the Miller, so they could have prevented our whole warping thing, maybe snuck in an actual Ike plonk there, but no. Guess it just wasn't happening. Okay, this time though. This time, we're facing Peony +6, Emblem Ike, Flayn, Fallen Maria, interesting, Dagger +2, and Lyon. Another classic Ike plonk. This time, however, the Ike plonk not going quite the way they perhaps expected on account of their whole tactics room. Cutting short Veil's range. Huh?
I have to believe.
Well, okay, Emerin apparently choosing violence today. Not that I mind, because it still gets our warps online either way, and well, now it's Gullveig time. 8 hit points. Can she do it? Yes, she can. Which means, yet again, Gullveig time. Man, I love Gullveig. It's just such a win more. Oh, Full Maria keeps Flayn alive just long enough to tickle Gullveig slightly, but not alive long enough to actually survive the combat. And that means it's Fallen Maria's turn to go next.
It wasn't a dream.
Bye-bye. Let's see who else we can warp in. Nurgle. Yep. Love bringing Nurgle in. Ereshkigal. Glacies. Big special. Won't you die? Yes, you will. 144. Excellent every time. Everyone else. Oh! And Veil gets to actually use her range after all. And blast out Lyon. Okay, that's as far as we're taking things, but you'll notice that our opponent here only has one unit left, that being their Dagger, and to be fair, Dagger is able to take out Veil. As I said before, Veil really not tanky against melee units, but killing one unit is not gonna get you out of this one, buddy. And there we go. Full team wipe. Thank you very much to Gullveig for enabling that. Well. Seems like Emblem Ike very popular. Here we've got Emblem Ike, Breath of Life, Tea Time Lysivia, Ash +5, Unaka, Higher Papaya, Josanaki, and Dagger. Okay, I like the concept here. Very much a team that looks like they want to... Well, actually, there's two ways you could play this. One of them is hit and run, and then plonk Ike in front of whatever's left. The other way is plonk Ike, and then you've got some very strong offensive units to clean up whatever's left. Which way are they going? Well, they are waiting for the Bolt Tower, and ooh, spicy play, sending Unaka around the back. just barely able to kill Nurgle despite the Breath of Life thanks to Fatal Smoke, and then pulling back out of range. And when I say out of range, I really mean it this time, because Emrin not putting her healing where I personally would have put it. That constrained her ability to warp, and that means our team just didn't roll out very far. Now we've got a chance to do some cleanup. Sending Ike into Vale is smart, because with Vale offline, we don't really have our good options against Ike anymore. But oh, now you've got problems. This time Emrin able to find the right unit to heal, the right place to warp to free our Gullveig, go around that Ike start, causing havoc in the back line.
Breathe deep.
All of these units very offensive, but not tanky in the slightest. Snipe out Lysithia. We've got one more action in us. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Saniki. With their dual unit gone, that's a lot of their action economy as well. Now the issue here, as it is that if they want to, Ike can probably solo the rest of this map. Takes care of Emblem right there. There's no save protecting Emrin, but are they gonna take it? They are not gonna take the Ike victory. They're gonna surrender, because after all, they have lost 3 units. And if you want to win in the Vault, losing 3 units is not a good score. Now, what have we here? Well, it's the new Myr with a Edelgard Peony, a duo Kagero, a duo Sharena, and Fooz. I predicted we'd see a whole lot of Gale Force. We did not see a whole lot of Gale Force, but we are finally starting to see a little bit of Gale Force. This is a Gale Force team. They're gonna Gale Force us. And the question is, how well can they do it? Well, looks like Sharena going up first. Sharena, we already know, has a pretty decent matchup into Eden, I'm afraid.
Together forever.
Interestingly though, this is not a Gale Force Sharena build, that's no quarter. Sending Sharena all the way out. Edelgard gonna prod at Violith, does not get the kill on the first attack. Does just barely make it on the second, despite Breath of Life helping out a little bit, and they're pulling away. You know? I was about to say I don't know if pulling away is the right move, but sadly, again, the extra action on Magic Shield, yet again, just denying us. And that means they get another turn. Gale Force.
I am watching.
Sharena are able to hit Gullveig here. They do have their duo buttons online.
Indeed.
But it looks like they don't want to go in any further. They'd rather get pots. And wait a second, do you really want to leave that unit there? You are going to pull Emrin to yourself. Emrin not going to be able to deal with the save here from Myr, but that brings Warp online, that steals your buffs, and the buff we stole gives Nurgle the extra movement to reach Sharena down here. The massive special explodes her to tiny little pieces. How do you feel now, Gale Force boy? That's what I thought. Yeah, you've got to be really careful in these Gale Force endgames, because as long as Emmeryn, and especially as long as Nurgle is alive, things can turn around in a flash. Gale Force, of course, really strong, but also such an easy strategy to screw up. Finally, here we've got Tuned Peony +9, Legendary Male Corin +1, the new Attuned Micaiah +1, Miller +10, Dagger +10, and Ulla +10. Now, Legendary Male Corin does bring something new and fancy to the table. The new and fancy thing that he brings to the table, it is named High Dragon Wall. It's effectively another whole Gatekeeper thing. So we are gonna get a little bit gatekept here. Assuming he survives, which, okay, he might survive. He can't counterattack against staffs though, so Emmeryn is going to stick that combat just fine, no issues there. Here's the other funny thing. Obviously he keeps our range 2 units out, but our melee units are actually just completely fine to warp in the normal old-fashioned way. Not that it particularly achieved much, though. We did a bit of damage to him, but the bit of damage is not the same as a lot of damage. Veil in next. Unfortunately, again, not ending particularly well, and gives him an opportunity to set up his water. He made a big puddle on the floor. Everyone else doesn't really have a good opportunity to go in. Micaiah is going to deal with Byleth, though. Presumably.
Got you something.
Yeah. Again, look at the stat swing here. -28 on attack and res. But that being said, we'll see how this actually goes, because again, they've let Emmeryn walk up. And unlike last time, they've not positioned considering the warps she's gonna enable. This time, she's enabled Idun to warp in and just pick off Ulla. Admittedly, our range 2 units still can't go in, but did not predict the Idun warp, I'd guess. And, well, there we go, 1 unit lost, and, I mean, they probably could have cleaned up from there, but choosing not to, that makes sense as well. So that, my friends, is the end of the season. Kind of scuffed, honestly, but we made the change I said we were going to make, and what did I say? We're not going to lose another match. And hey, it worked out. It worked out. Thanks everyone for showing up. I want to hear what you guys think of this new Gullveig, because again, she has been absolutely shredding it. So tell me about her in the comments. And thanks for showing up. I will see you all in the next one. Penrost out.